My name is Alina Thompson. I'm a 35-year-old marketing executive and a single mom to my incredible 10-year-old son, Ethan. As usual, my morning is a whirlwind. I'm in the kitchen, scrambling to pack Ethan's lunch while simultaneously firing off work emails on my phone. Chaos, yes, but it's my life. Mom, have you seen my science project? Ethan shouts from upstairs. I sigh, momentarily pausing my multitasking. Check the living room, honey. I think I saw it on the coffee table. Just as I return to my emails, my phone buzzes. It's a message from my brother. Mike. Hey sis. Emma and I can pick up Ethan from soccer practice today if you need us to. Relief floods through me. That would be amazing, Mike. Thanks. Mike and his wife, Emma, have been my rock since Ethan was born. They live just a few blocks away and are always willing to help out. Emma, in particular, has boundless energy when it comes to Ethan. Later that evening, I'm in the kitchen preparing dinner when Emma brings Ethan home. She hovers, her eyes scanning the cluttered countertops and the pile of dishes in the sink. Busy day? She asks, her tone overly sweet. I nod, suppressing the irritation building inside me. Yeah, you know how it is. Oh, I can only imagine, she replies, running a perfectly manicured hand through her hair. I don't know how you manage it all. Work, single motherhood. It must be exhausting. There's something in her voice that grates on me, but I let it go. It can be, but it's worth it. Emma smiles, but her eyes don't quite match the expression. Well, if you ever need a break, we're always here to help. Oh, and Ethan was telling me about his birthday next week. He's so excited about the gift I promised him. I raise an eyebrow. What gift? Emma winks. It's a surprise, but trust me, he's going to love it. As she leaves, I can't shake the feeling that there's more to Emma's generosity than she lets on. But I brush it off. She's family, after all. The next morning, I'm in a meeting when a text from Ethan comes through. Mom, Aunt Emma got me the new gaming console for my birthday. Can't wait to play it. My stomach drops. The console he's been begging for is outrageously expensive. Why would Emma promise him something like that without discussing it with me first? That evening, I confront her. Emma, you really didn't have to get him that. It's too much. She waves her hand dismissively. Oh, don't be silly. Nothing's too much for our Ethan. Besides, I know you've been busy, so I wanted to help. Her words sting, but I force a smile. Thanks, I appreciate it. As I watch her chat animatedly with Ethan about his party, I can't help feeling a pang of something, jealousy, unease. I'm not sure. But as Ethan's excitement builds, I push my feelings aside. What could possibly go wrong? The day of Ethan's birthday party arrives, and the house is alive with energy. Kids are running around, parents are chatting, and the smell of fresh-baked cake fills the air. I'm in the kitchen putting the finishing touches on the snacks when Emma bursts in, carrying a massive, beautifully wrapped box. Where's the birthday boy? She calls out, her eyes sparkling. Ethan rushes into the room, his face lighting up when he sees the gift. Is that for me, Aunt Emma? You bet it is, champ. Emma grins as she sets the box down in front of him. I watch as Ethan tears into the wrapping, revealing the gaming console he's been dreaming about. The room fills with gasps and excited whispers. Ethan throws his arms around Emma, beaming. Wow, Emma, one of the other moms exclaims. That's quite the gift. Emma basks in the attention. Only the best for my favorite nephew. A wave of inadequacy washes over me, but I push it aside. This is Ethan's day, and his happiness is all that matters. The party is in full swing when I notice Ethan looking pale. I rush to his side, alarmed. Honey, are you okay? Before he can respond, he doubles over and vomits, his small body shaking violently. Panic claws at my chest. Someone call 911. I scream, holding Ethan tightly as he convulses in my arms. The next few hours blur together. Sirens, hospital corridors, doctors talking in rushed tones. I pace the waiting room, my heart lodged in my throat. Then a doctor approaches, his expression grim. Miss Thompson, we've completed Ethan's toxicology report. My world screeches to a halt. Toxicology? What do you mean? The doctor's words hit me like a freight train. Your son ingested a dangerous combination of drugs. We're doing everything we can. But do you have any idea how this could have happened? Numb with shock, I shake my head. No, he was at his birthday party, surrounded by family and friends. At that moment, two police officers enter the room. Miss Thompson, we need to ask you some questions about the gifts your son received today. Reality slams into me like a wave. The gifts, the console, Emma. The days blur into one long nightmare as I keep vigil by Ethan's bedside. The steady beep of monitors and the soft hiss of oxygen filling the silence. Mike visits, his face etched with worry. Alina, the police want to search our house, he says quietly. They think the drugs may have been hidden in one of Ethan's gifts. I nodded numbly, barely processing Mike's words. All I could focus on was Ethan's pale face, so small against the stark white hospital pillows. One night, as I sat by his bedside, holding his hand, a detective entered the room. Miss Thompson, we need to talk about your sister-in-law, Emma. We have some questions about her involvement in this incident. In that moment, something inside me hardened. If Emma was responsible for this, if she had hurt my son, there would be hell to pay, and I would make sure of it. As Ethan slowly recovered, the gnawing suspicion about Emma only grew. Her visits to the hospital were oddly timed, always when Mike wasn't around. One day, I overheard her on the phone just outside Ethan's room. No, it didn't work. I know. We'll figure something out. She hissed before abruptly ending the call when she noticed me. Who was that? I asked, my voice icy. Oh, just work stuff. Emma laughed nervously, quickly changing the subject. How's our little fighter doing today? I narrowed my eyes. Our little fighter, he's my son, Emma. Later that evening, I confided in Mike about my suspicions. His reaction floored me. Are you serious, Alina? Emma, she loves Ethan. How could you even think that? Mike, something's not right. The way she's been acting. He cut me off. Stop it. You're stressed and looking for someone to blame. Emma would never hurt Ethan. Frustrated and feeling completely alone, I turned to my coworker, Jason, over coffee. I need your help, I confessed. I think Emma might be behind what happened to Ethan, but I can't prove it. Jason's eyes widened. That's a serious accusation. What do you need? Can you dig into her background? There's got to be something we're missing. A few days later, Jason called me, his voice urgent. Alina, you need to see this. He showed me what he had found. Records Emma had carefully hidden. Past drug charges, petty theft, even a stint in rehab. My blood ran cold. Mike needs to see this, I said, but when I showed him, he exploded. You had no right. This is ancient history. Emma's changed. Our relationship fractured at that moment, but I wasn't done. Desperate for answers, I took matters into my own hands. I installed hidden cameras in the house, the invasion of privacy making my skin crawl. But I was determined to uncover the truth. It didn't take long. The next time Emma came over to help out, I watched in horror as she rifled through Ethan's medication, slipping something into the bottles. Rage surged through me. I confronted her immediately. I saw what you did, Emma. It's over. Her face twisted in panic. You don't understand. I had to do it. Had to do what? Poison my son. No, I just wanted him to get sick. Just enough so you'd need me, so I could be the one to save him. Her voice cracked with desperation. I didn't mean to hurt him. It was supposed to be harmless, just enough to make him ill. But then it went wrong, and I couldn't admit what I'd done. I stared at her in disgust. Save him? You almost killed him. Tears streamed down her face. I didn't mean to. You don't know what it's like, Alina. You have everything, a great job, a beautiful son. I just wanted to be needed, to be the hero for once. I felt sick to my core. You're sick, Emma. You need help. Please, she begged, grabbing my arm. Don't tell Mike. We can fix this. I'll leave. I'll never bother you again. Just don't ruin my life over one mistake. I yanked my arm free, my voice cold. One mistake. You've been lying and manipulating us for years. This ends now. As I reached for my phone to call the police, Emma's eyes darkened, her expression turning cold. If you do this, I'll tell them it was you, she threatened, her voice low and venomous. I'll say you've been abusing Ethan, that you set me up. That'll be your word against mine. In that instant, I realized how truly dangerous Emma was. She wasn't just desperate. She was calculating, capable of turning everything against me. But I'd be damned if I let her threaten my family ever again. Try it, I snarled. I dare you. As I dialed 911, Emma's bravado crumbled, her face twisting with panic as the weight of her actions finally sank in. But it was too late for remorse. The truth was out, and there was no going back. The day I handed over the evidence to the police was both terrifying and liberating. Detective Johnson listened closely as I played the recordings and showed him the footage from the hidden cameras. "This is substantial evidence, Ms. Thompson," he said gravely. "We'll bring Emma in for questioning immediately." I stood by the window, watching as police cars pulled up to Mike and Emma's house. The sight of her being led out in handcuffs felt surreal. Mike's face was a mask of shock and disbelief. Later that evening, Mike came to my door, his eyes red and swollen. "Is it true?" he asked, his voice breaking. I nodded, my heart aching for my brother. "I'm so sorry, Mike." He collapsed into my arms, sobbing. How could I have been so blind? In court, Emma's carefully constructed facade finally shattered. Her testimony revealed a twisted plan born of jealousy and desperation. She confessed to tampering with Ethan's medication, admitting that she had intended to frame me for neglect. "I just wanted to be the hero," she sobbed on the stand. "I wanted Alina to fail so I could swoop in and save the day." The jury's verdict was swift, guilty on all counts. As the judge sentenced Emma to 15 years in prison, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. It was over. 2 years later, life has settled into a new rhythm. Ethan, now 12, is thriving in school and shows no lasting effects from what he went through. I've poured myself into my work, earning a promotion to vice president of marketing. Mike and I have slowly started to rebuild our relationship. It hasn't been easy, but we're getting there. He's in therapy, working through the trauma of Emma's betrayal. "I don't know if I'll ever be able to trust again," he confided in me during a recent visit. "But I'm trying, for you and for Ethan." We've heard through the grapevine that Emma isn't faring well in prison. She's fallen back into old habits, isolated and struggling with addiction again. Part of me feels a twisted sense of satisfaction, but mostly, I just feel pity. As for me, I've learned valuable lessons about trust and the importance of real family. Ethan and I have grown closer than ever, our bond stronger for having weathered the storm together. "Mom," Ethan said to me the other day, "I'm glad it's just us now. You're all the family I need." His words brought tears to my eyes. We've been through hell, but we've come out the other side stronger. That night, as I tucked him into bed, I realized that sometimes the family you choose is more important than the one you're born into. Sitting here now, watching Ethan play in the backyard, I feel a sense of peace I haven't known in years. The echoes of our past still linger, but they no longer define us. We're moving forward, one day at a time, building the life we deserve. And that's a gift more precious than anything I could have imagined. If you were in my position, do you think you could ever forgive Emma for what she did? Or do you believe that some actions are truly unforgivable, even when they come from family?